Hey guys, hello. We are physiotherapist students, and my name is Matthias.
And my name is Sebastian.
This is interview. My name is Matthias, and I'm 24 years old. I normally come from a city called Horsens. I study as a physiotherapist in Aarhus, and the second largest city in Denmark, together with Sebastian in the same class. I have a big interest in Japanese culture. It comes from anime mainly, and also the language and how Japanese people are as a whole. I think it's very interesting because it's definitely different compared to the European standard.
My name is Sebastian, and I'm 26 years old. And I grew up in a small town called Hinderup. I like to play basketball and train in fitness. And I think my favorite food from Japan so far is ramen. Especially miso ramen we got here. In Sapporo. Yeah.
A very good place, Ichiban. I had a lot of injuries when I was young, still have a lot of injuries. I went to something called efterskole in Danish, but it's basically kind of a boarding school. But we at the boarding school we had a physiotherapist. And I think with his energy and how he was as a person, I think I got inspired a lot by his work. So I thought already at 9th grade, when I was 15 years old, I think, that probably physiotherapist was a direction I should maybe take. That is how it started.
Yeah, pretty much the same for me as well. Had a big interest in the human body, and I think especially when I started training a lot. And then I played basketball at a high level. So I also got a lot of injuries. So that kind of sparked my interest to find out how to fix them. And then in general, I think I like working with people and being able to help someone in need and have a big impact on their life.
What motivated me was probably, as I said earlier, I had a big interest already in Japan, so I definitely wanted to see how especially the healthcare system is. I already did a solo travel there for 1 month 2 years ago, but my interest was also to see the Japanese culture. Last time I only saw it from afar. So I thought it was very interesting to have the opportunity to come here and see the healthcare system and how Japanese people work, different compared to Denmark, and how different is it, and what can we learn from the Japanese culture, and what can we maybe give as well.
I've also been wanting to visit Japan for a long time, mostly to experience the cities and the landscape and nature. Then also the history and the culture in the country. Want to learn more about that. And then it was also convenient for us because we already had a contact, because earlier students had went to Japan as well. So we had a contact and it was easier to arrange than. In general, I think it's a very practical education. Yeah, physical therapy, it's a bachelor degree and it takes 3.5 years, and it's divided into 7 semesters, half a year each. We have 3 long internships in Denmark, between 7 and 10 weeks each, where you get to go out and experience all of the different sectors in Denmark. So that would be the private sector, and the communal sector, and the regional sector. But then our last 2 exams are on the 5th and 6th semester. It's a clinical internship or exam where you have to go to the exam out in the.
When we already go to 4th semester, we already get patients under us, so we have already the responsibility for the patient's well-being and try to do the best as possible to do a rehabilitation plan. Of course, in the beginning there's more and more attention from the supervisors that look upon us, down our shoulders to make sure that everything is fine. But the further we go into our education, the less they look after us. At the 6th semester last year, I had 10 weeks there, and some days I almost didn't even see my supervisor, and I had like 5 patients each day. So I had a really big responsibility by myself, but it also depends on the person, the student, if he or her can handle that many patients, or do they trust their own ability to take the responsibility for their patient's safety. You should know what the limitations are before you, of course, do them. Always needs to be in a safe environment and think about plan A, B, C, D if something goes wrong. That's the really good thing about physiotherapy, especially in Denmark, what we have of opportunities, because you can specialize in the most niche things and keep on educating yourself. There's not a dull moment at all if you want to keep on living. That's my plan at least.
Thank you.